Howdy, howdy, howdy. Uh, so it has been quite some time since my last video. A lot of ups and a lot of downs. Still, as I said in the last video, it ain't no excuse. You know, we have time to do fun things. We make time to do all this and that, and you know, we gotta still make time for the Father's Word. It is literally essential for our life here on earth as well as our life afterwards, um, after our bodies perish. It is essential. So why not take advantage of that while we still have the opportunity? So I'm going to get into it. The last chapter we were getting on to was in Bere'shiyth, Genesis chapter 44. And this is where Joseph and his brothers are in Egypt. Joseph being the ruler, second to Pharaoh, and there's a huge famine. The 7 years of plenty have already passed, and this it comes down to Joseph's brothers coming again back into Egypt for a second time to get some more food because there's no food anywhere that they are able to get except for in Egypt, Mitzrayim. And so they're back down there, and they're having a meal, and so this is the second time that they're down there, and Joseph's thinking he's gonna trip them up, and he goes and tells one of his servants, hey, put the money that they brought, put them back in their wallets, in their sacks, and fill up the guys' food sacks as much as they can carry, but also put back the money that they brought. And then, my personal cup, take that and put it in the youngest's sack as well. Put it in his satchel. So he does that, and they get up to go, and they're probably on the outskirts of Egypt or whatever, and he tells the servant, okay, go after them, and this is what you're going to tell them. He says to, hey, so he goes up and chases after him, takes him down, and he goes and says, hey, you stole my lord's cup. You stole Joseph's cup. What are you doing? And they're all like, what are you talking about? We didn't steal his cup. Like, why would we do that? First off, we brought back the money that we found in our sacks, and also more money to buy more grain. Why would we, I thought we had proven ourselves trustworthy men by doing this act. Well, apparently not. So they had said, well, with whoever you find the cup, let him not live. That being said, this part right here is that being said, with whom it is found, let him both die, and we also will become your bondman. This is quite an interesting that let him both die. So he's talking to Benjamin right there, because that's who it's found with. All right. Remember, if you guys are going to be following this part, remember this part when we get into the book of Judges. All right, I'm just gonna say that. But this happens, so everybody, get down. Everybody get off your donkeys and search. So the servant does that, and he finds it in Benjamin's cup. They all, break down crying, go walking back to Egypt, and they're sitting in Joseph's house, and he's like, "What have you done? Why'd you take my cup? Did you not think that I wouldn't find out?" And he's like, "Well, obviously, Elohim has found out. What can we say? God's found out our sin. So this is going on, and but one of them takes responsibility and says, I'll be responsible for him." And he's like, "No, Benjamin's gonna stay here. You guys can go free. He's gonna be my servant." And he's testing them to see whether their hearts have changed towards him because of the act that they had committed of trading him for money earlier. So, they're trying to negotiate this, like, hey, Judah comes and says, "Hey, my dad said that he can come down only if he returns. How is he going to be, you know, how is he going to be able to live with himself knowing that we did not take him back? He's going to die knowing, he's going to be heartbroken." And all of these things that Yehuda is speaking to Joseph. And so he's going on about all of this, saying that how much trouble is going to befall their father, knowing that his soul is bound up with his sons, being the remnant of the one that he loved, because his other son is also dead, talking about Joseph. And they both knew what he was speaking of. So let's get into chapter 45 in the Sefer. Bere'shiyth, Genesis, chapter 45. Then Joseph could not refrain himself before all of them that stood by him, and he cried, "Cause every man to go out from me." And they stood no man with him, while Joseph made himself known to his brethren. And he wept aloud, and the Mitzrayim of the house of Pharaoh heard. And Joseph said unto his brethren, "I am Joseph. Does my father yet live?" And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence. And Joseph said unto his brethren, "Come near to me, I pray you." And they came near. And he said, "I am Joseph your brother, whom ye sold into Mitzrayim. Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves, that ye sold me hither. For Elohim did send me before you to preserve life. For these 2 years has the famine been in the land, and yet there are 5 years, in which there shall neither be earing nor harvest. And Elohim sent me before you to preserve you a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by great deliverance. So now it was not you that sent me here, but Elohim. And he has made me a father to Pharaoh, and lord of all his house, and a ruler throughout all the land of Mitzrayim. Hasten ye to go up to my father, and say to him, Thus says your son Yosef, Elohim has made me Lord of all Mitzrayim. Come down to me, and tarry not, and you shall dwell in the land of Goshen, and you shall be near unto me, you and your children and your children's children, and your flocks and your herds, and all that you have. And there I will nourish you. For yet there are 5 years of famine, lest you and your household and all that you have come to poverty. And behold, your eyes see, and the eyes of my brother Benjamin, that it is my mouth that speaks unto you. And ye shall tell my father of all my glory in Mitzrayim, and of all that ye see. And ye shall haste and bring down my father here. And he fell upon his brother Benjamin's neck, and wept, and Benjamin wept upon his neck. Moreover, he kissed all of his brethren, and wept upon them. And after that his brethren talked with him. And the fame thereof was heard in Pharaoh's house, saying, Joseph's brethren are come, and it pleased Pharaoh well, and his servants. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, Say unto your brethren, This do you, lade your beasts, and go, and get you unto the land of Canaan, and take your father and your households, and come unto me, and I will give you the good of the land of Mitzrayim, and ye shall eat the fat of the land. Now you are commanded, this do ye. Take you wagons out of the land of Mitzrayim for your little ones, and for your women, and bring your father, and come. Also regard not your stuff, for the good of all the land of Mitzrayim is yours. And the children of Yesharel did so, and Joseph gave them wagons, according to the commandment of Pharaoh, and gave them provisions for the way. To all of them he gave each man changes of raiment. But to Benjamin he gave 300 pieces of silver, and 5 changes of raiment. And to his father he sent after this manner 10 asses laden with the good things of Mitzrayim, and 10 she-asses laden with corn, and bread, and meat for his father by the way. So he sent his brethren away, and they departed, and said unto them, See that ye fall not out by the way. And they went up out of Mitzrayim, and came into the land of Canaan unto Yaakov their father, and told him, saying, Joseph is yet alive, and he is governor over all the land of Mitzrayim. And Yaakov's heart fainted, for he believed them not. And they told him at all the words of Joseph, which he had said unto them. And when he saw the wagons which Joseph did send to carry him, the spirit of Yaakov their father revived. And Yasharel said, It is enough, Joseph my son is yet alive. I will go down and see him before I die. This concludes the chapter reading of Bere'shiyth, Genesis, chapter 45. Blessings, y'all. See y'all next one.